When did you become aware that this could help Jaxs?
I watched an episode of Weed Wars, I believe is what it was called. Jason David was on it with his son, Jaden. And Jason lives very close to where my family lives in California. I moved from California to New Jersey in 2006. So when it came on and I saw him having success, it was kind of a, it was an idea. I was thinking about it. Still scared of the weed because I bought into the propaganda. I bought into all the weird stuff. I did leave California. My family's back there. Saw this interview or this episode. And Jaden seemed to be doing better. At the time he was 4 or 5, seemed to be doing better. That summer I went to the Gervais convention. That's where I met Megan, actually, and we kind of hatched this plan to do this whole thing for the state of New Jersey and kind of, we need this for our kids. But in the back of my head, it was still like, but it's an illegal drug, but it's scary, but it's, and I always had all those buts. My son's neurologist, very for it, cautious, concerned, but definitely for it. But there was, again, one drug left to try, and that was the drug from Dr. Gervais that she had founded out in France called steripental. And that's when we started Jack on the steripental. And for the first 3 months, it was great. He did really well on it. But then it just isn't working. It stopped working after approximately 3 months.
Tolerance development? Or just stopped working?
That's the nature of Gervais. Gervais just stops working. The drug may work for 3 months and then it doesn't work at all. Or it may not work at all and then it starts working and it works for 3 months.
So with cannabis and what you've heard from parents of other Gervais children, have you heard from some who have had it long enough to know whether or not that's going to happen with cannabis?
Absolutely. At that point, there was a cannabis group on Facebook that I was part of. I was one of the first group, or part of that group that was in there. Jason was in there. Other families from around the United States were in this group, and they were sharing their experiences. Some of the kids were off all drugs completely and on just cannabis. Others were on some minimal pharmaceuticals and also cannabis. Jack deserves to have treatment. I mean, since he was able to start the treatment in California where he is a resident, he is completely off of phenobarbital, of steripental, Onfi, 40% off of his Klonopin, down 50% off of his valproic acid, and he's off the ketogenic diet. And he was having 10 to 20 seizures every night, and now he's having 1 to 3 every week.
Wow. So those medicines that he was being given
were causing more seizures. They're not helping him. Nothing was helping him. So he's actually getting help now. He's getting relief, and this is what he needs. The 2 ounces is not nearly enough because I need to make the edibles. He can't smoke. They did offer me joints, pre-rolled joints in there, and I just kind of looked at her and laughed and said, "He's 14. he's not going to be able to use the joints." Since starting in November, we actually, during Hurricane Sandy, which happened today, we ended up in the hospital because no power, no electricity, no food source, no anything in the state of New Jersey. The day we got out of the hospital, off of the video EEG, so there is a test to show what his brain waves were like the day before he started cannabis. And we started him on the medical marijuana, very small doses because, allergies, fear the big weed. Yeah, it's a scary plant. So we started off slow.
You should start with small doses. It's just safer.
I started off even slower because this is, you hear your whole entire life how scary it is.
You're a good mom. You got to be cautious.
So, it's this little itty bitty bit, half a gram of butter that probably was 4 milligrams of CBD. I'm sure the THC wasn't even traceable in that at that point. But I started him on it, and he just was better. Jack's going to school when we came back, and I was able to continue his treatment, and in doing that, the school kept calling me up and saying, "What's wrong with Jack?" And I kept saying, "Okay, so he's having a seizure." And they said, "No." I says, "Okay, then what's wrong with Jack?" And they're like, "He's different." "Okay, can you tell me what's different?" They're like, "What are you giving him? What's different?" Because they thought I had changed some of the pharmaceutical meds, and they wanted to know. Nope, nothing's changed.
Well, they would already know what medications he's taking at
Correct.
school.
They already know.
Yeah.
Even at
So
home, they knew.
okay. Well,
And they thought maybe I had changed
They're not being
up.
intrusive. They're trying to help.
They were trying to help, and they were because they were seeing improvements in Jack, so they were trying to pinpoint it because this is working, and they wanted to encourage me. And so I finally one day pulled the nurse aside and said, "Well, I can tell you what I'm doing with Jack, but I'd have to kill you because it's a secret." And she said, "I think I can handle it." And so I shared with her that Jack is a 215 card holder in California. We started the treatment when we were there. We were there almost a month for Christmas, and it did such great things for Jack. I had to continue it. And that's what he was on. And she was just amazed. And she had already written down for me all the things that she had seen improvement on. She wrote a list down. She wrote a list down for me and said, "These are all the things that I see him doing. Attention span, putting sentences together, paying attention, listening." I mean, the list went on and on. I took him to the doctor's office, and we're in the neurologist's office, and he's just like, "Huh, what's wrong with Jack?" "Nothing. Nothing's wrong with Jack." But Jack's sitting still, and Jack was watching a video, and then he was interacting with the doctor. He actually had a productive exchange of ideas, and the doctor took that stupid little hammer thing and hit Jack on the knee.
Yeah.
And Jack looked at him, and he took the hammer from the doctor, and he pushed the doctor like this, and the doctor sat down, and Jack started hitting him on the leg. So there's connections that were being made. So I continued with the treatment, and I've slowly increased. And in doing so, Jack is now off of phenobarb as of February of last year. No more phenobarb. That's a huge one. We've been trying for 3 years to get him off phenobarbital.
Great to meet you too.
I need help. My son needs help in this state.
What's it about? Tell me.
I'm losing services for my son because I'm trying to work, and as a single mom, I don't have the ability to be able to help him.
All right.
And I have no services.
Okay, well, that should not be. Dan's going to give you a card. You're going to email it to Dan, and we'll have the folks either from health or insurance call you or both.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
do that. Email that today, and we'll get it out to you by Monday, all right?
Thank you.
When you talk to people, it's going to be very evident to them. You're there for them, not for you. You got it taken care of. You're doing the best you can with you. You're not asking for their help for you. You're offering your help to them. And I think once more patients understand that, what a beatific act of compassion that is. They'll help too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry I get so emotional.
That's okay. No,
should
Jack
affect people
is amazing. Jack wakes up every day with a smile, even though he has seizures all night long. And I've been able to make that stop. This should not be a secret for anybody.
No, it
Why should these kids not have a future? If I could have had this for Jack when he was Vivi's age, what are the possibilities?
And you're bringing this to kids who are Vivian's age. You're giving them possibilities. I don't know that it'll help, but when people would ask Cheryl, "Why are you doing this? Is it going to be legal in your lifetime?" she'd say, "No, it's not. But there's a lot of other Jim and Cheryls out there who have more time than me." And
that are undiagnosed.
you remind me so much of Cheryl.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You really do. It's funny how long it seems when you're not having fun.
Having fun.